The rest of Bush's second term, we can summarize briefly, has been characterized by a catastrophic decline in his public approval and not a great deal of accomplishment until the late economic crisis, where Henry Paulson, as Treasury Secretary, has stepped forward. Back to the CEO model again, Henry Paulson is George Bush, in effect. For that policy area, he has the president's go-ahead to do what he wants, and he keeps doing things every day. It's been fun to follow. What do we get from this? Well, we get from this that even the very best decision-making system installed by the very most knowledgeable people, which I think we did have at the outset of the Bush administration, can be defeated by events and can be defeated when it is not sufficiently backed up by the guy in the middle. The president really does matter. Andy Card, Condoleezza Rice could have continued as effective traffic managers even in the face of the post-9/11 disarray, but only if George Bush had backed them. They could have said no to Dick Cheney, but there's only one person in the government who outranks Dick Cheney, and that's George Bush, and he was not backing them if they wanted to push back on Cheney, and they didn't. So the president still matters despite all the organization. What does all this mean for Obama? One of the questions that came up earlier was, when presidents get power, do they ever give it back? When the presidency expands, other than in very strange circumstances like post-Watergate where Congress reclaimed power, is Obama going to continue along the paths that Bush did? Are we going to have the same legacy? I think no. No, in some obvious ways. There's not going to be a Dick Cheney in the Obama administration. Joe Biden hasn't any of the traits that you would look for in a Dick Cheney, and that's deliberate. Biden will be back into the mainstream of vice presidents with a policy area assigned to him, in this case probably foreign relations, and a delimited influence within the administration. There will probably be more openness and probably less discipline than in the Bush administration. Why? Because these are Democrats. Remember Will Rogers' aphorism, I belong to no organized political party, I am a Democrat. Transition machine is apparently already leaking, Hillary Clinton for Secretary of State. You can expect an administration that's a little bit more improvised. The public presidency, Obama's had such good luck in the campaign, will probably continue. It can't not continue in the media environment we're in. However, I don't think you will see in the Obama administration the claims of unilateral executive power that you saw in the Bush administration, as inspired by Cheney and his staff. That doesn't mean they're giving it back. It doesn't mean they're renouncing it. I just think you won't see them using it. Does that mean the power goes away? It becomes arguable that they never had it. So I think you will see some pullback in that sense. It's not going to be a ratchet effect in which presidencies continue to expand their influence, in part because Obama won't need to. Congress is on his side at least for 2 years. So that's as best I can do, the legacy of the Bush administration. It is not entirely a positive legacy, but at least at best it can be lessons learned.